Morning, Kelly.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've got a few more joining here. So as they're joining in, thank you everybody for joining me this morning. I really appreciate you being here.
Our
Thanks for-
pleasure.
Yeah, looks like that might be everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and get started. Good morning. My name is Kelly Rosequist. I'm with Dog Training Elite. And thank you again for joining us this morning. I apologize in advance if you hear a lot of ruckus in my background. I'm trying to mitigate it, but I got a golden retriever puppy back here who has decided it's playtime. So I'm trying to keep him as calm as possible. He knows when I'm getting on a call and the rubber chicken comes out and I don't know where he hides that thing from. So.
They always do know.
I swear he was quiet 5 minutes ago.
How old is he?
He is 17 weeks. Let's see, I'm gonna stop my share really quick. I'm gonna let you guys meet him. Zen, here. Where's Zen? Zen here. His name is Zen, and he is in training to be, oh, so big, my service dog.
Golden retrievers are my babies. I have
Good
two.
morning, Zen. Good morning, everybody.
I am glad to know that I can at least see.
He's pretty awesome. He is a busy guy. Oh, we got one more joining you. Okay, I am going to go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to go through the presentation this morning that talks a little bit about Dog Training Elite and what makes us unique. And then at the end of the call, I will open it up to answer questions. If you have any questions along the way and you don't want to forget them, feel free to throw them into the chat box. And I can address those that way at the end too. Can everybody see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, again, thank you for joining us this morning. We are Dog Training Elite. Pictured here is Aiden. Aiden is our franchise support director, and everyone will get the opportunity. And my other golden retriever pictured there is Arrow. We got a few of our other amazing dogs in the background there, but Aiden and Arrow are featured in this slide. So who are we? Dog Training Elite is America's fastest growing dog training franchise, and we have over 40 years of theory development and dog training experience. The service we offer is quite unique. We do offer a personalized in-home training experience because we know that works best for our clients and their dogs. We do offer customized solutions. We know there's not a one-size-fits-all method that works for dog training and for our clients. So we offer customized solutions to meet their needs. We do pride ourselves in providing outstanding customer service. We are a people-forward dog training company, meaning everything we do starts with the client's experience, because we know if they have a good experience, their dog will also. And that's the best way to guarantee that they'll follow through and continue to train and work with their dog. And we do work with dogs of all breeds, ages, and abilities because we believe that all dogs deserve a better life and more freedom. So we do not have any breed restrictions, age restrictions, and we do work with animals that have special needs as well. So it's in the name, but what makes us elite? We offer 7 distinct dog training services. Not only do we do this because we know it's fun and an amazing service we can offer, but it provides our franchise owners lots of different ways to generate revenue. It's not just one type of dog training that's available. Of course, we offer obedience training. That's the butter of everything that we do. We offer puppy training, pretty in-depth puppy training, not just your, PetSmart puppy class sort of things. We believe that there's a lot of imprinting that can happen with young puppies, and a lot of things we can do to set them and their owners up for a successful life together. We do offer personal protection training services if our owners choose to offer that in their areas. We offer specialized service dog training varying from PTSD and psychiatric support all the way up through diabetic alert and personalized autism canines. We offer therapy animal training. These are the dogs going out volunteering in the community with their handlers. We do work with dogs that suffer from anxiety and aggression and help them overcome that. We offer small group classes in local parks, so you do not have to have a facility to offer these. And we do offer specialized services for our military and retired veterans. So how did we get started? Well, it all started back in 1976 with John Mestis, or the dog father, as we like to call him. When he first got started training, he was focused heavily in hunting and bird dogs. He competed at very high levels across the country in hunting and competition, winning most of those and then going on to judge as well. In 1990, he opened up Arrow Kennels and started offering formalized dog training services to the general public. In 2011, we saw a big model shift where we started going into homes and working with pets, not just high-level competitive dogs. In 2014, we started our first franchise in Phoenix, Arizona. And we took the next 5 years to really focus on making sure that our model could be replicated in an entirely different market and be effective in another market. We duplicated everything and made sure that it worked. After making sure that we had crossed all of the T's, dotted all the I's, and checked all those boxes, we started our expansion nationally in 2019. And in 2021, so far we have, and this number's a little outdated now, we have, so why do people choose Dog Training Elite? Why do we think our brand is great? Well, we do have an option for semi-absentee ownership. The majority of our owners are owner-operator. To be completely transparent, we have 3 semi-absentee owners. We've had quite a few more that have thought they wanted to be semi-absentee. And then they've kind of fallen in love with the training, the concept, and been way more involved than they initially planned. But we do have semi-absentee ownership options. It is still incredibly important, though, that you care about dogs and you care about your community, because that is the cornerstone of our brand. We do have high revenues and net profits. We are a home-based company, so you don't have to have a brick and mortar. We just require you have an amazing dog and a wrapped vehicle to get started. Because our costs are higher for our product, it's a higher value product, you do have the ability to have fewer clients in order to turn a profit. We are seeing a constant increasing demand on our services, which has been phenomenal. Our company is very scalable. It's easy to grow because you don't have to add a bunch of locations. You don't have to build out trainers and maybe some vehicles to your fleet in order to scale. And we are incredibly active in our communities, and we encourage our owners to do so as well. So the investment breakdown, I'm sure you guys have seen these numbers. Just a few things to highlight. We are SBA approved, and we do offer a VetFran discount for our veterans and active military. So what does a day in the life look like? For our owners, operators, they're out there doing appointments. They're doing training appointments. They're doing sales appointments. They're hiring and training their employees and running the training aspect of their operation. Some of our semi-absentee owners, they're more focused on the general business operations. These are typically our owners who are focused on scaling and growing, and they oversee, hire, and train their employees. from the beginning, one of the most important things to us at Dog Training Elite, before we ever started franchising, was to make sure we had an amazing system in place to offer support to our franchise owners. Your success is our success, and our brand is incredibly important to us. So we offer all of the support we can to make sure you're successful and that your clients and the dogs in your communities are getting the amazing service they deserve. So we do offer ongoing phone and technical support to all of our owners. That is not limited in this way. We offer advanced training support for our owners. We have lots of opportunities for you to continue your education, continue offering advanced services in your area, as well as marketing support and learning how to do new marketing techniques in your areas as well. We do territory visits where we'll come out and assist with training on site. We have annual conventions where we all get together, we learn new concepts, learn new skills, and network with one another. Some of our best resources and support come from within our organization. And we have some pretty phenomenal franchise owners. We have some private Facebook groups where everyone is incredibly helpful to each other in problem solving and in growth. And we do offer grand opening and ongoing marketing support. So when you first open up, we come out to your grand opening event. We send out some of the corporate team and we support you during that grand opening. We're out there for 5 days, not only helping you with that first event, but then helping you navigate your first leads and appointments as well. Our education process is similar to that of other brands. We'll work you through the process of going through that FDD, that long legal document, making sure we can answer your questions about that. Once you've completed that, we do have you do some market research in your area, and we do that as well. So we can talk through, maybe who are the competition? What are the, niches in your market that you might want to tap into? Step 6 is a call with me to answer any of those questions that might still be left over and to kind of help you navigate what those next steps are going to be. We'll move you into peer review. You get to talk with our owners, and we encourage you to take advantage of those peer review calls. We have the best owners. I'm not just saying that, we legitimately do. And they're incredibly open and honest in these calls, and it gives you the opportunity to actually find out what it's like operating a Dog Training Elite business. I'm not on those calls. No one from our corporate team is on those calls. So we really encourage our owners to be open and transparent. This is your opportunity to ask those questions about what their growth looks like, what their unit economics look like. They can answer all of those questions. Our approval day process is here in Salt Lake City. We invite you out for 2 days. We really dive deep into the brand at that time. And we also want you to experience what a day is like at Dog Training Elite. So at that approval day, you get to go to a group class. We take you on some training appointments at home. You get to see some service dogs in training, so you can really experience the brand as well. And if all goes well at that stage, franchise is awarded and we get ready for boot camp and launch. There's a few questions I always get asked, so I'm going to answer a couple of those before we hop into your other questions. First one is, how do we handle liabilities of trainers going into the homes of aggressive dogs? We have a lot of safeties in place for this. First and foremost, no one should be going into the home until they're trained to do so. So we have a formalized training process for this. We have muzzles that we use. We have lots of safeties in place, things that are being screened way before the owner or the trainer goes out to work with that owner. So just know it's a safe process, and we have it figured out. We'll help you through that. I get questions about e-collars quite a bit. So let's talk a little bit about it. E-collars are not shock collars. They're not a traditional shock collar where people think they are. E-collars run on TENS unit technology, same as physical therapists use. Those little pads you put on that contract the muscle, same exact technology. What we're doing is communicating with the dog. We're tapping the dog on their neck, and we're saying, hey, talking to you, pay attention. And what we're creating is a Pavlovian response when we do that. So through time, it can be phased out, not just used for negative reinforcement, because we know that's not effective. We use a lot of praise. treats when needed in conjunction with the tool. So obviously we'll get way more in depth as we move through the process on the e-collars and how they're used. But the best way we can describe it is it's a walkie-talkie for your dog, and we'll teach you how to use that. And how do franchise owners acquire new customers? We have three, I should say, main ways. One, digital marketing. We have an incredible digital marketing team that everyone will get the opportunity to meet with at approval day. They'll provide you some market research, show you lead volume in your area, and about how many leads you can expect. Most of our owners get more than enough leads just through that source alone to keep themselves very busy. But we have another way as well. We also do in-person marketing. We do farmers markets, home shows, recently in Utah, bridal shows to talk about our new wedding package. And we're acquiring lots of in-person leads. Those leads are really important for a couple reasons. One, they've seen us and they've met our dogs, which is really cool. So it's a strong lead. And it's another way we integrate into our communities as a local business. And those shows often bring in a high volume of leads. And third is word of mouth. We have a really strong word of mouth client base here. People are super proud of their dogs and their dogs' new freedom once they go through this process, and are often telling family, friends, neighbors all about the service. So we do have a strong customer base there as well. Okay, guys, so that is the end of my presentation. I'm going to stop my share, open us back up here to videos, and I am happy to answer any questions that you might have. We do have quite a few people in the group today, so if you guys wouldn't mind throwing questions in the chat box so we're not talking over each other, that would be super helpful. If you're unable to get into the chat box, just raise your hand and I'll call out for your question.
I'll go ahead and get started, Kelly.
Okay.
Maybe if you could tell us a little bit about the Malinois Foundation, the 501(c) charity organization.
Absolutely. So the Malinois Foundation was started by myself and a few other members of our team and community about 8 years ago now. Dog Training Elite has always made it a point to make sure our service dog training is affordable. If you look at service dog training, you'll notice that our costs are lower than most of our competition, even though our obedience is higher. And that's because we believe that people should have access. But there were still some people who couldn't afford our service, and we just didn't want to live in a world where that was the reality. So we started the Malinois Foundation. And the Malinois Foundation exists to provide services to individuals who can't afford them at no cost to them. So our corporate team has an amazing Malinois Foundation liaison who handles all of the applications, the screening, everything for applicants in your area. And then our franchise owners get the opportunity to be able to provide that training in their areas, give back, and make a huge impact on veterans' lives in their communities. Okay, so I do have a question here from Vince. How do you differentiate Dog Training Elite from other national brands that train dogs in customers' homes, like Sit Me and Sit, Suburban Canine? Yeah, that's a good question. The biggest differentiator, well, there's a few, but the biggest one is our specialized training services. Sit Me and Sit currently exists in every single market we're in. And actually, we're very close with the Sit Me and Sit team, and that we know what they're doing all the time, because John Mestis and their founder, Fred Hassan, actually started training together 30 years ago. And interestingly, they diverged. And so we focus on a lot of specialized services that they do not. That's the first thing. The second thing is we are still very customer focused. They're definitely more dog focused, which for some people that works. But for our client base, it's more about their experience, and we know the dog will fall in. So we're very people forward, and those advanced training services are the two biggest. Let's see. Jeremy asks, a lot of attention given to aggressive dogs. What if I have a lazy dog? What if barking and biting aren't the problem so much? Aggression actually isn't the biggest thing that we work with. Surprisingly, a lot of our clients just want a really amazing dog that they can take everywhere. So we can train dogs to do all of the obedience on and off leash. We definitely make a lot of people see their relationships with their dogs increase, and dogs end up becoming more affectionate, having more energy through the training process. But work ethic is one thing we can't train in. So some dogs just do not want to work. So, but that's something we'll help you decide. We don't see that happen. We can usually flip it on, but if we can't, we'll let you know. There are some dogs that just don't want it. Vince asks, what factors in each market determine the price for training packages? So we have generally a baseline that we suggest you do not go below. And that is because we know that the value exists for our product. None of our owners have dipped below that ever, and they're all doing quite well. There definitely have been markets where we have increased costs, however. Phoenix, Austin, we have a few markets that based on income, but more than that is based on competition. If your competition is charging a higher amount than we are, generally across the board, Denver was a really good example of this, then we should look at increasing prices as well. So we're taking into consideration a lot of things from their income, cost of living, and competition when we make those decisions. And our team is always part of that conversation with you in deciding what's best for your market. Okay, I'm being asked if we have other franchises where demographics are similar to Pittsburgh and how long it took them to fill the trainer's schedule. I don't know a whole lot about Pittsburgh's demographics to say that. I would imagine it's probably close to some of our more Midwestern locations. So all of our owners have been really busy very early on. So once I know more about Pittsburgh, I'm happy to talk more into that, but definitely these would be amazing questions for those peer review calls. But yeah, I'm sorry, I can't really get too deep into that without knowing more about Pittsburgh. Any other questions, guys? Yes, Carrie.
And sorry, I tried to raise my hand. I'm not able to use the chat. How about how my dogs will change throughout this? Right now I have 2 golden retrievers. One of them's 9, one of them's 5. I think the 9-year-old, I don't think he would enjoy it so much. The 5-year-old might. I'm just kind of interested to see what you guys have experienced with some of your other owners.
Absolutely. So one of my favorite things we get to do on a daily basis is dispel the belief that structure and training turns dogs into robots, because it does not. So that's one of the reasons I love using my dogs. One of the reasons we use demo dogs, honestly, that's the biggest reason, Carrie. So we're going out and talking to people about training. They get to see this amazingly well-behaved dog who is happy as heck to be there. And so, with some of our new owners, you might expect some sulking the first few days. That's totally normal. But who wouldn't sulk if your life has just been like total free for all and now someone's trying to change it on you? But
Right.
We have never seen a dog that did not come out on the other side of the training more happy, more confident, and with a whole heck of a lot more freedom. And that's what we're providing. So there might be some days where they're like, I don't like this. But by the end, we have never seen a dog that's not come out happier on the other side.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a good question. We have about 5 minutes left, guys. Any other questions? Do you have another question, Carrie?
I do. How about certifications? There seem to be a ton of dog trainers in my market. They all seem to have a ton of availability right now, which is a little bit concerning to me. They don't seem to be booked out at all. And they all seem to talk about all these certifications. Can you talk about that at all?
Certainly. So we provided a lot of internal certifications from our Dog Training Elite University. So you'll have all of those. Dog training certifications currently are a really interesting thing. And the majority of those that you see attached to dog trainers are ones they've paid for. You join an organization, you pay them money, they give you those letters to put after your name. Doesn't have a whole lot to do with actual dog training. So one of the things, you know, even some of our most John is a great example. He's been training for 40 plus years. He has none of those after his name because that isn't what makes a good dog trainer. So those in-person events is what will set you apart there, Carrie, is getting out in front of your market like, hey, I'm here and here's the proof. This dog is the proof that this works. You know, we personally don't believe in upcharging our clients because we paid someone to give us a title. And so we believe that you should only get those titles if you actually actively train and prove that you've completed that. So we do have a really strong internal certification process that you'll still be able to list obviously all of those certifications and make sure your client base knows exactly what you're able to offer. Any other questions, guys? I think we probably have time for one or two more.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I keep hearing a lot about marker training in my area. And they seem to be high-end trainers. I've even got one guy that's like a few miles from my house that's on Animal Planet all the time. And he was saying he doesn't believe in positive reinforcement. He does the marker training.
So marker training is positive reinforcement. Then,
okay, that's what I was.
Anything that isn't negative is positive. I mean,
Okay.
That's how dogs operate. They're black and white. There's not this world of gray. But we use marker training also. So if we're giving a correction, we're giving a correction. If they're doing something right, we're marking it. Yes, good. It is a clear communication tool. A lot of trainers will say they don't do positive reinforcement if they don't use treats. But anything that is praise or affirmation, in our opinion, is positive, and that's why we say we're a balanced dog training. Correction when needed, but affirmation when they deserve it too. So you absolutely can use those same buzzwords in your community because that will be something you'll learn to do. One more question I have on here, guys, and it's a good question. With 16 new franchise owners this year, can you talk about your training and support process? Absolutely. So when you come out here for boot camp, it is intense. I won't say anything to make you believe otherwise. It is 14 days of long days learning how to operate a business and also how to train dogs. We're learning with your own dog, you're learning with client dogs, you're learning with other trainer dogs. I mean, it is intense. It's a lot of training. After that, when you open up, we provide that in-person support at your location, and then lots of ongoing support. But we do have 2 new employees hired this year alone that are 100% dedicated to your success in daily operations. One is Megan Kelly, who's on this call. She is all things business support. So day-to-day business support, anything you need, she is there. And we hired a dedicated training director. She is the top diabetic alert dog trainer in the country, as well as specializes in a lot of obedience and service as well. She joined our team this year, and her only job at Dog Training Elite is to answer franchise owners' dog training questions, full-time, all day, every day. So we are constantly adding to our team as we're adding owners and seeing where they need the support the most. I'll take one last question. We're at 10, but I just had one more come in from Vince. What type of support do you provide in helping the first trainer, helping find the first trainer for a franchise? Seems like a crucial hire. It absolutely is. So we, short of hiring someone for you, because we cannot do that, We do have a lot of resources to help you figure out where to hire. And we have an amazing internship program that we will teach you how to utilize in your areas. Internshiping is quite common in the dog training world. And so it helps you find and screen potential trainers in your area. And it's a pretty easy system to follow to find the best trainers in your area. So that is something we do provide support with. Okay, guys. Well, in respect of everybody's time, I'm going to wrap up this portion today. I hope you all continue through the process. Kyle's an amazing resource. He's an amazing part of our team and can answer a ton of your questions. And I look forward to getting the opportunity to talk to you all individually throughout this process. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.